exactly what kind of education program would be crafted out of that, I'd be very suspicious about it. And I think it's worth a very careful look. I mean, there's plenty of problems with the educational system, but the main problem is that way too few resources go into it. Now, it's not that we don't have money, you know, like there's no budget crisis or anything like that. The country's just flooded with money. Again, read the business press. You know, it cannot find adjectives exuberant enough to describe, you know, the dazzling, stupendous profit growth and, you know, what are we going to do with all those funds and so on. The country's just flooded with money, capital, but all getting very narrowly concentrated, okay? There's plenty of money around to improve the educational system, and we know exactly where it has to come from. I think that's its main problem. I mean, teachers are way underpaid, you know. They're undereducated, they're not given enough respect, too many kids in school, in a classroom, you know, not enough educational materials and so on and so forth. There's no special, you know, nobody has any brilliant ideas about, at least I never heard any, about how people should be educated, except, you know, kids' natural enthusiasm and creativity ought to be allowed to, you know, work in constructive ways. I mean, all this kind of stuff. You know, what's missing is the resources. Fine, so let's provide the resources. So maybe they won't have such dazzling and stupendous profits next year, and instead kids will get a better education. I think that's what ought to happen. But what I'm worried about is that the system is moving towards the kind of privatization which just imposes costs on the public.